ABK is the pioneer who brought the pet products to India.
In the accessories segment, yes, we have been one of the pioneers.
Not only have you got your business from a particular level to the highs that you see today, but you have also done good to the industry, the pet product
Yes.
industry.
Absolutely. So our vision is to create that Groom India team and sponsor that team and ensure that India has a place in the international standard.
India and the pets are proud of you.
Thanks a lot.
So what key measures have you taken while scaling up that ऐसा ना हो कि turnover बढ़ रहा है but the profitability is going down, तो ये ना हो इसके लिए what all measures have you taken?
I think one principle which we always follow is the monthly MIS. तो MIS तो मतलब बनाना ही है, दुनिया इधर की उधर हो जाए.
As business owners, we don't find a difference between ourselves and our business. We feel the money that the business is making मेरा है and जब चाहिए तो पैसे निकाल दो. What have been the worst phases of business in the last 15 years?
See, every day is a new challenge. You take wrong decisions, you take right decisions. Important is to keep trying, keep doing things, and keep facing the challenge.
I always say that mindset decides whether you are a winner or a loser. So friends, welcome to the third episode of U-Turn with Ashika Sarkar. Episode after episode, we are trying to instill this confidence in you, the business owner, to never give up, to learn and grow your business. In today's episode, we have Kushal Piti of ABK Imports. And like a bamboo shoot, they are metaphoric that they took 8 years to grow the business to 35 crores, but they built a foundation after that they grew to over 100 crores in the next 3 years. And I am a witness to this. I have been with them through their journey as their business coach, where they have streamlined every single process and system of every aspect of the business. So there's a lot to learn from Kushal today. And I want you to look through the entire minute detail of their business when Kushal takes you through the details and learn, make notes and try and implement it in your business. I'm sure it will help you big way. So let's hear from Kushal. Thank you, Kushal, for joining us today.
Thank you, Ashika, for having me over here. It's my
Thanks.
pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. Thanks. So, Kushal, tell us about the ABK import story. How did it start? Where did this idea come? How were the initial 8 years of the business?
So, we started in 2010, and basically, I was doing a job at that time, and my brother Anand was also doing a job, and our cousin Bharat, who was already in the pet industry. So, we had a family function, and basically, Anand and Bharat were, out in the parking, and they were like just having a small chat, or they were at a next door shop where they were just having tea and like discussing. And so Anand was in between jobs, and he was like planning to switch from he was in a polymer company to another robotics company, and he was telling Bharat that how the transition is, and he's going to be the sales head for this new organization. And that's when Bharat kind of told him that why don't you think of starting your own business, and there's a good opportunity in the pet industry. I'm already in it, and my hands are full, so I cannot take up more responsibilities, but I know that there's a good opportunity. And by luck of chance, I was just like on my bike passing by, and I saw them, and like Anand called me, "Ki Kushal, come here, see what Bharat's saying." And we started discussing, and yeah, they say like how just miracles happen. It just had to happen. So then we took this proposal to my dad, and my dad also was like confident, and he's like, okay, if you three are doing it, like I'm fine, like go ahead with it.
Awesome.
And yeah, we took a small bank loan, and we like started rolling from there, and we went to Germany. We so coincidentally, all these conversations happened in the month of April, and in May there was a world's largest pet exhibition which was happening in Germany. So we immediately like booked our tickets, and we formed the name of the company as ABK. So that's the initials for Anand, Bharat and Kushal. And we printed visiting cards, and we just like
Started from
started.
scratch.
Yes.
Awesome.
So it was an amazing start, I would say.
But was business on your mind always?
Yes. So being being from a Marwari family, like वो
खून
मालूम है
में-
कि खून में blood है,
खुद में
Uh,
business है.
blood में business है. So we always knew, or at least I always had it in my heart कि business करना है. But since I'm an engineer and I got a campus placement with Mercedes-Benz, so I took up the job initially, and I think that was something which really shaped me, because I used to work there for almost 15 to 18 hours, if not every day, every alternate day. So that really, built a lot of, groomed me, taught me a lot of policies, principles, dealing with the management, with the staff, with the workers. So it was a fantastic experience. Like I can't put it in words. Looking back, I feel like those 2-3 years in Mercedes were really important for whatever we have achieved in ABK.
So, are there any corporate policies or corporate working styles that you try to incorporate in ABK now?
Absolutely. So every single policy and corporate style which I learned at Mercedes. So uh, honestly, like, because I was from the outside, like, so I looked at both the angles. So whatever I hated, I ensured that I didn't implement that,
Awesome.
and whatever I loved, so those things I'm trying to implement. So it was a very good balance where I could see through it, what my colleagues were not liking at the organization, or what were the things which they had problems with. So I ensured that those things we are not doing at ABK, and so these things really helped.
And from 35 crores to over 100 crores, what were the major milestones?
I think major milestones, if we have to say, were building a brand. So, like, we had our own private label Chip Chops, which we built really as a me to you brand. So, we have a very good volume over there and a very good take. So people associate with, when they talk about treats, they talk about Chip Chops. So that's the kind of brand which we created. So we put in a lot of effort in, the R&D, in understanding the product, developing the palatability for the crowd, doing a lot of sampling, test marketing. So that was one of the major milestones for us. Other than that, I would say that everything. So all the 6 functions of business, like, you have to keep working on everything, and it's not like if you're working on one, you can leave the other. So right from finance, marketing, brand building, cash flows, uh, operations. So every single aspect we had to really look into.
My smile is not stopping. Thank you so much.
So strategy, so everything. It's like you have to do it all.
Absolutely.
And that's the fun part. So personally, I completely love that and enjoy, because a lot of people may feel it is like stressful, or it is too demanding, but I think
Takes too much of time.
it takes too much of time. But I think this is what business is, right? Like, if you really want to build something, so you have to really be at it. Like, this is what entrepreneurship is, where you are not like thinking only about one thing. You're thinking everything from all sides and all angles.
Absolutely. So, Kushal, pet product industry is quite a large industry. And how many SKUs at the moment do you have?
We have about 3,200 SKUs with which we are working.
Oh my God. And what are your hero products?
So we have multiple brands which are kind of our hero brands, and out of them, the products are also the hero products. So for dog treats, we have Chip Chops, which is one of our main hero brand. Then we have Dogoholic, which is also for a different kind of treats for dogs. So they are also one of the hero range of products we have. For cats, we have this brand called as Catoholic and Ketos. So these are our...
So, you put the cats also on keto, is it?
Yes. Right. And then we have this range of shampoos and wipes called as Popeye. So yeah, so these are the 5 hero category brands we have.
Nice. And how does it work? Do you travel the world, see the best of the products and try and get them in India? What's your business model like?
So yes, we do travel the world. Whichever opportunity we get whenever there are exhibitions happening or where there are trade fairs happening. So we keep traveling. try to at least attend 2 or 3 World Trade Fairs every year, because this is where the real learning happens. You understand what's innovating in the industry, what is happening new, because the Indian pet industry is still, I would say, about 8 to 10 years behind the Western pet industry. Because in the West, if you go, you'll see that people care more for pets than their own child. So that kind of concept is definitely developing in India, and it's coming up now with a lot of people also not having kids and
Double income, no kids.
dink,
Yeah.
the dink population. So that's happening in India, but we are still far away from the way people are in the Western culture. So we travel abroad, we see the products, we see the market gaps which are there. So we try to fill the gap, and basically the main idea with which we live is like we want to ensure that we are making the lives of pets and pet parents better. So with that in mind, we try to always ensure that we are getting the world class products, we are getting the best, and we would never get any product which we would not feed our own dog.
Awesome.
So that's something which has been like a principle for us, that we will always uh, get the best quality products, thinking about it that if we can have it or our pets can have it, only then we will be selling that product.
So ABK is the pioneer who brought the pet products to India, because otherwise we used to travel overseas and that's where we used to have the fancy for these products. We used to get them along.
Yeah, so in the accessories segment, yes, we have been one of the pioneers who have really introduced these products in India and kind of developed the market. So when we started 15 years back, it was very difficult for us to convince the pet shops or the pet owners to buy these products, and there was a lot of market which was unorganized, completely unorganized, and we were one of the first players in the accessories segment who came in with in a very organized way, with a private limited company, ensuring we are doing everything the right way. And we really struggled the first 3 years to establish ourselves, to convince the customers to keep the products. But then it was a journey as people started realizing the quality, the difference between the local products and the good quality products, non-toxic products, products which are child safe, where there's no color which is coming out. So the toys are actually, if your child is also taking in the mouth, it's fine. So a pet can definitely take it in the mouth. So a lot of things which were harming the pets earlier, where even the pet parent or the consumer was not aware about
Safety
the
norms.
safety norms, or what exactly was happening to the pets, was because of these low quality or substandard products. So we kind of try to change that completely and educate. We spend a lot of time and money in educating the pet shops, who would then educate the customers. So it has been a long journey and it has been a great one.
Not only has you got your business from a particular level to the highs that you see today, but you have also done good to the industry, the pet product
Yes.
industry.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Uh,
That is always like we have always strived to do that. Today also, like in the grooming industry, we have been the first ones to start the pet grooming competitions. So we are having groomers from across India who come on one platform, and we organize these grooming competitions where they can compete with each other. We call judges from we call international judges, and they are the ones who judge that how are you grooming. They give you tips. They do some seminars, and we are kind of building this team which can represent India as a Groom India team, which can go internationally and compete with other countries. So there are these international grooming competitions which happen every
You're
year
bringing India on that platform.
on the platform. Yeah.
On
So
the-
that's one of the visions for ABK. So as a grooming arm which we have, which we call as ABK Grooming. So our vision is to create that Groom India team and sponsor that team and ensure that India has a place in the international standards, and we have one of the best team.
Lovely.
So we are really working towards that.
India and the pets are proud of you.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Kushal, when you started off, you said you didn't have a vision and business just happened.
Right.
Over a
Cup of
cup of coffee and a casual discussion with your cousin, business just happened.
right.
When did you start realizing that we need to have a vision? And how has this changed over the last 15 years?
So I think the first 5 years we were just like doing everything and
Experimenting.
anything. Yeah. So we didn't know, we just knew that okay, whatever we are doing, we need to give in our best and do the best for the pets, for ourselves, and like keep striving, keep taking actions, keep learning. So we were just like out there, working hard and doing our best. So somewhere I think in the 2015, 16, maybe like after I got married. So Namita, I think I will give her the credit. After I got married to her, and I at least started feeling, when I look at her, I get a lot of ideas that how her business or her family business has grown, and what they have done. So that has kind of given me a lot of inspiration. And then I would think that okay, even we can do this. So like that's when I started thinking that okay, there's a need to have a vision, there is a plan. And Anand and I would, so I would say that it's never like we didn't have a vision. Anand and I used to always keep discussing and keep having these thoughts and ideas, but we never put it on paper. So like we always had this vision ki, okay, we have to do something for the pets, for making the lives better. We have to be agile, be innovating,
Adapting to
keep
the
adapting to the market scenarios, keep understanding the needs. So I'll like share an interesting story like about being agile. So uh, when uh, when initially for the first few years we were only dealing in the pet products, and then we saw there was a huge gap in the grooming industry. Started meeting some groomers and seeing that they were actually breaking their backs when they were grooming a dog, or they had absolutely no infrastructure. So that's where we saw the
potential.
the gap and the potential. And more than the potential from our side, we also realized that like if the groomers keep doing this, they will not be able to
Survive through
survive
scale.
through, like at 5 to 10 years of doing this, their backs and their body will give up. So we realized that there is a, so we started researching, we started understanding what are happening internationally, what kind of products people are using. And then we got all these hydraulic tables where the dogs can just walk on the table, or the bathtub where the dog can just walk in it, and the groomer does not have to actually pick up 100-kilo dog and or a 70-kilo dog and put it on the table. So a lot of these equipments, high force dryers, which can help in drying the dog in like less than 30 minutes. So all these equipments, all these products, we started importing. We started educating the groomers, because people always kind of think about the price and then they think about the quality or the utility. So we really went out of our way in conducting seminars, in conducting a lot of learning events, where we actually educated them that this is not about the money, but it is about your health and lifestyle. If today you don't invest X amount of rupees in this equipment, tomorrow you will be paying 10x on your health. So, like that's the kind of a trade off. And you don't want to, like do something and then fall sick or not have like your like
The entire business stream is lost.
yeah, like if you're going to have like back issues, then not be able to stand straight, so it's going to be a big problem, because it's not easy to like lift up a dog and put him on a table and then groom him for like 2 hours. So they were actually doing a lot of hard things, which we
Made the life
realized. And then we really, I would say we were just like a medium. So we just tried,
catalyst.
yeah, we was a catalyst, and we tried our best to kind of do that. And yeah, so today we are like one of the market, we are the market leaders for the grooming industry, where we are leading the way in the pet grooming industry.
So when we look at scaling up, we talk about from X, the business has grown 4x. Understand business owners like Anand and Kushal, they identify opportunities, they identify gaps, and they make them the business model. And this is one lesson that comes to us from Kushal today. So, Kushal, I know you and Anand personally, and both you guys have your own strengths, but you are so distinctly different. And I have seen this in almost all the SMEs that I have personally worked in, when there are multiple partners and directors. Uh, each one of them have a different personality, different vision, and there comes a stage of disalignment between the directors, and that reflects on the business.
Right.
So what efforts have you guys taken to be aligned to each other as far as the vision for ABK is concerned, as far as all the strategic calls that you guys take? What are the conscious efforts you guys take regularly that our audience would definitely want to hear from you?
So yeah, definitely, like Anand and I are like poles apart, if you, though we are brothers, but with the thought process and everything, we both have very different ideas, very different thoughts, and I think this is something which is kind of become our strength. So sometimes I am very rash and very impulsive, so I don't believe in too much of detailing and too much of planning. And Anand is completely the opposite, where he needs everything to the detail, to the plan, and only if he's completely convinced, then he will go with it. And so, like we kind of, he brings the grounding to ABK, and we don't take any decisions without each other's kind of approval or a discussion, so to speak. Not really an approval, but a discussion. And the best part is that we will argue till the time we have to argue, but end of the day, we both have a common policy or a common idea which we have come to understand, that as long as the decision is about in the interest of ABK, that is the right decision.
The right logic.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter कि कुशल का क्या आइडिया था या आनंद का क्या आइडिया था. एंड ऑफ द डे ABK के लिए क्या अच्छा है, वो आइडिया के ऊपर हमें जाना है. तो
ऐसे हुआ है क्या कि because you guys are not able to come to consensus, things have not moved?
So both of us, like that's why I said, like one of us will step back and go with the other person's opinion, and we have kind of agreed to disagree to that thing कि whatever decision, then once it's taken, then we both are in it together.
We'll stick to that.
We'll stick to it. बाद में ऐसा नहीं है कि I will tell him कि यार this is because of you, or he will tell me this is because of you. So we kind of have that understanding that once we have taken a decision, then let's stick by it. फिर जो भी उसके consequences है, it is us to face it. We are not going to fight over it.
When you started on this scaling up, of the business, what are the very first strategies that you implemented? सबसे पहले क्या किया? If you have to recollect.
सबसे पहले we started removing time outside the business. So we were too involved in the business. So we started working on the business.
Amazingly good.
Yeah.
And here, second learning.
Yes. So I think what we started doing is removing 1 or 2 days, like maybe not even coming to office, sitting in a cafe and working, or working from another place. So where we are not really doing the everyday firefighting, because once you are in office, you just don't realize how the day starts and how the day ends, and you realize that end of the day I've worked so much but I've not done anything.
पूरा time firefighting में निकल गया.
Yes. So basically removing that self time, yeah, time to think, time to work on strategy, time to come up with some ideas and some understand where you are standing, what is happening, what is the current scenario. So I think those are the things which we started working on initially.
So friends, what Kushal is indicating over here is there is a concept of working on the business and working in the business. When you're working in the business, you are starting the day and ending the day with firefighting, taking care of जहाँ आग लगी है वहाँ पे मैं hose pipe लेके गया to firefight. In the ordeal, what happens is, as a director or the founder or the partner of the business, your core responsibility is to work on the strategies, to work on the expansion, to take the business in a different level, work for the tomorrow of the business. And while you're working in the business, you continue and stick to the today. So the moment they changed the gear of working from in the business to on the business, they started getting the results. And that's the lesson number 2 we get from Kushal, that while you are managing the day-to-day hassles and hustle of the business, please consciously start working strategically on the business. So thanks Kushal for bringing this valid point in the discussion. So Kushal, 5 years back, how big was your team?
We were about 65 people.
And today?
Today we are at about 200 plus.
200 plus. And was it not chaotic managing this change of 60 to 200 plus?
Of course, it was, but I think you learn on the go, and you have to set, like, you have to have roles defined for every single individual. We need to set hierarchies. So I think once you start setting these things, then it becomes easier. So yes, when we scaled up from 65 to 200 people, definitely it was quite chaotic. We uh, came to a point where everybody was doing a lot of things. So then we sat down and we created some structures. So Anand had his own defined roles and responsibilities. I had my own defined roles and responsibilities. We both had our individual teams. हमने सबके लिए KRAs सेटअप किए, KPIs सेटअप किए. So where every single person understood ki what he's supposed to do. We set up hierarchies so that earlier when we were a smaller organization, सब चीज के लिए लोग आनंद कुशल के पास में आते थे. But then when we started creating this organization structure, so people knew that they have to, like, kind of, they have a team lead. And then if it's not happening, but like Anand and I, we always have had a open door policy, which we still have till today. Ki anybody.
Also backfires, but
Yeah, but I think I personally feel like I think it's a great thing because you want to be like, connected because
approachable.
yeah, because it's end of the day, we are all people, we are all human beings, and that human to human touch is very important according to me. So we believe a lot in like having that personal interaction with every single team member.
Sure.
So for us, team members are like family, and we really value them, and I think they are the backbone and the pillar of ABK.
Absolutely. And you scale only when your team takes you to that level.
So it's not Anand and me, it's actually the team
who's
yeah
scaling up the business. So Kushal made a very important point here that even Anand and Kushal as directors of the company, they have their KRAs and KPIs, that is key result areas and key performance indicators. As business owners, we are not accountable to anybody, right? So हम जो करते हैं हमारी मर्जी से होता है. But when you have defined KRA KPIs for the directors, the next in line team, and every team member in the entire organization, one, everyone is very clear about their roles. Two, everybody's performance starts getting measured, and that's how not only the team performs, the directors perform, and everybody performs towards the common goal. So thanks again for this very important point, Kushal.
I think I want to add one point in that, like, it's important to have someone who you are answerable to. So, like, Anand and I, we both will always have like a mentor or we both who are answerable to each other. So that is kind of important, like, defining the KRA
Accountability is
and accountability, which is kind of measured.
Sure. Thanks for bringing this. As a business coach whose entire focus is on profitability, I have always liked that while you are scaling up in terms of the turnover, you should have a keen eye on the profits and the profitability percentage, right? So what key measures have you taken while scaling up that ऐसा ना हो कि turnover बढ़ रहा है but the profitability is going down? तो ये ना हो इसके लिए what all measures have you taken?
So, first and foremost, it is like about keeping the overheads in check. So, I think one principle which we always follow is the monthly MIS. तो MIS तो मतलब बनाना ये दुनिया इधर की उधर हो जाए, but every month knowing your numbers, understanding what you are doing, where you stand, this is the most important, because if in 1 month you're not looking at it, then you don't know, like suddenly at the end of the year you realize that, oh, I have not made profit, or I've made profit. So this is something month on month we are tracking, and based on that, then we are realizing कि okay, we are even doing a comparative analysis on the previous months. So we know कि okay, अगर marketing cost last month इतना था तो इस month कितना है. So what is in terms of percentage, where the expense is increasing, where it is reducing, what is happening, why it's happening. So we are kind of questioning every single aspect of the expense, and ensuring that the GP is maintained. So we are tracking these things, which is really helping us in knowing that where we stand.
So Kushal says a lot of things that bring smile to my face, and thanks for that, Kushal. So MIS, that is Master Information System, gives a complete clarity of every smallest and the biggest expense that you incur as a business, and all your inflows and outflows are measured. They work on some 6-7 page long MIS. Most of my coaching clients, they shy off from numbers and they are like, Ashika, everything else is fine, मगर हमसे numbers नहीं होता, so numbers से प्यार बहुत बहुत ज़रूरी है. And that's the first thing that I implement when I start working with the clients. And here's a fantastic testimony to how MIS really works. Not only can you keep the expenditure in track, but you can also check which are your hero products, which are the products which are not so much in demand, but you're stocking them more. So all this data is captured and you can make key decisions based on MIS. So thanks for bringing my dear MIS in the discussion. So yes, any other tool that has really worked well in terms of
I guess the demand profit analysis, which you just mentioned about, knowing that which product or which SKU is actually driving the profitability, which one is not, where is the dead inventory. So, like as the import business, so we are always sitting on a lot of inventory. We are working on, advance, and we are having long working cycles. So it is very important to keep a track on products which are actually sitting in the warehouse and not selling. So, if a product is sitting in the warehouse for more than maybe 6 months, you'd rather just sell it off than let it sit over there, because every day it's sitting there, it's costing you rental, it's costing you finance. So there's no point of keeping it over there.
Sure. Most of the SMEs get bogged up with cash flow management. Yeah.
Right.
Because I always say that you should always have a surplus of 6 months, so your cash flows are always well taken care of. So, what kind of measures you you take for healthy cash flows?
So one is, first and foremost, is tracking of the cash flows, making sure that we are having a yearly plan on the cash flows, that what is the cash flow which will be required for the whole year, knowing that what is the kind of finance which we will need for the whole year, because see, every quarter is not the same. If you are scaling up, then ideally the every outgoing quarter will be the incoming quarter of the next. Like if Q1 you're outgoing at a number, say 100, then Q2 end will be probably 120. So you have to plan for the cash flows in advance, so that last minute you're not stuck and you are having sales but you are not able to arrange the funds. So I think first and foremost is understanding that what is the requirement which the business needs, maintaining and managing the cash flows, uh, clearing up the cash flows where it's sitting unnecessarily, being very careful in not misusing the money where you're buying assets, or some things which are not really a part of the business, but you're thinking that you're making money, so let us, so in a way that money gets diverted into other places which it should not be, and then that hampers the business. This has seen a lot.
Very, 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 very critically important point Kushal has made over here. Uh, 2 points, in fact, he has made. One is, as business owners, we don't find a difference between ourselves and our business. We feel the money that the business is making मेरा है, and जब चाहिए तब पैसे निकाल लो. Yeah, we would have our foreign trips, we would have our asset investment, we would have expenditures which are not a part of the business. You have your director fee, you have your profit, part of the profit in terms of dividends coming to you, but you are not supposed to take the money out of the the cash flows, and that really hampers and dampens the overall financial structure of the business. And that's one very important lesson that Kushal has brought us. Another point that he made, which is a strong point, is as business owners, most of the SMEs rather, we don't have projections. जैसे दिन आता है वैसे हम चीज़ें करने की कोशिश करते हैं. So you need to have your projection report for the next quarter. Ki what are the things that are expected in terms of the business, in terms of the inflows as well as outflows, to keep the proper track and control of the cash flows. Extremely critically important points. I hope everyone is making notes from the learnings that we are having from Kushal. implement them in the business and you will see the changes and the difference in the business right away. Thanks. I can't thank you enough, Kushal.
It's my pleasure.
So moving forward, let's do a quick exercise, Kushal.
Okay.
Imagine like every time you're sitting in a coaching session and I have been putting you guys through all this. So likewise, been in business for 15 years, last 3 years scaling up from 35 to 100 plus, हो गया सब great, okay? हमें काफ़ी लंबी दौड़ और लगानी है. There's a long way ahead in front of us.
Right.
If I tell you that in 2025-26, you will continue at the same turnover, close your eyes, give me 3 ideas, क्या करोगे in spite of that to scale up the profits? Got the drill?
Yeah.
Close your eyes and मुझे बताओ कि 3 चीजें हमने करनी है in spite of the turnover not going up, because turnover going up is good, but what matters are the profits. मुझे 3 ideas आप बोलो कि कौन से एरिया में क्या करोगे in the business that you will still scale up the profits. So take a minute, close your eyes and tell me.
So I think for ABK, at least if I have to speak, then first is finance. So we will look at the finance cost, where we will control the finance cost by negotiating better with the suppliers, getting better credit terms, ensuring our debtors timeline we are kind of reducing. So one thing which I have learned is that even if we make 1% improvement every month, so that compounding effect is really big. So we will take small measures, but first would be the credit terms. So finance cost we'll try to reduce. Second will be the overheads with respect to the rentals, the manpower. So we'll try to see that how we can optimize our space, because what happens is that when you're scaling up, you tend to just take a lot of things which may not be necessary. So start looking at things, start understanding that, okay, if I'm needing say 10,000 square feet for something, can I do that in 8,000 square feet? So how do I optimize? If one person is doing a particular activity, can I involve him in doing another activity as well along with it? So we have this would be the second step which I would take, where we would optimize our existing resources. So whether it is the warehousing space, whether it is a team, so we kind of optimize. We'll see that who can fit in better and who has what potential and how they can step in to take up more responsibilities and more ownership. Third, which I would look at is inventory. So how we can do the 80-20 rule, cut down the 80% inventory, which is contributing probably to the 20% sales.
20% profits.
20% sales and 20% profits eventually. So we have seen this, that it's always like you said, the hero product. So the 20% products will always
Give 80%.
give 80% of the sales, whereas the 80% products are giving 20% sales. So look at that 80%, and even if, like you said, even if the turnover is the same, so I would say that if I have to cut down some products from the 80% and still maintain the same turnover, that will free up a lot of my money, and that would ensure higher profitability. So yeah, so these are the 3 things which I think.
How about introducing technological changes?
Yes, so that is something which is that goes without saying. Like, I think every year everyone has to or should invest in technology, because like now with AI coming in, there are so many things which can happen at the click of a button. So we have seen this ourselves, where we moved from Tally to ERP 2 years back, and like the same, though we scaled up, we didn't need to increase the team members. I can say that we have almost optimized on 25 to 30 people by scaling up from Tally to ERP Next. And still it's just like 2 years into ERP, we still have a long way. So every day we are seeing that, there is so much more we can do. We have so much control over data, we are finding so many loopholes, which earlier we were not knowing, leakages. which were happening. So having a good, robust ERP system is very, very important, which can actually give you
So
all the
then we
reporting.
can upgrade to the ERP in the coming year to keep the profitability
Yes, so we can upgrade or we can use the ERP
even better
to its full potential,
to its full potential. Okay.
because ERP has a lot of modules, a lot of functions, and normally people just use the 2 or 3 basic ones which we all need. But if you start using the insights from the ERP, if you start using the the analysis part, you really start seeing a very different picture.
So what are the 4 things that Kushal you said just now?
One is the ERP, so the infrastructure. One is the inventory, so the 20/80 rule. Third will be the finance. How do we improve our credit terms with our supplier and the debtors? And fourth is the operational efficiency overall, the overheads. So basically the team members and the warehousing space. How do we optimize that?
So Anand, I'm really missing you in this session. And ये जो 4 points कुशल ने बोले हैं वो ट्रैकर पे डाल रही हूँ. You have to implement them immediately. Yes. Nice. And so the moral of the story is that हम कितना भी आगे गए, there is always a scope of improvement.
Yes.
There's always a scope of optimization, and that can bring in a new version of the business.
Absolutely.
Right? So fantastic learning here. Thanks. So, Kushal, we just spoke some time back that team is the key to the scalability of the business.
Absolutely.
But does it happen that while choosing the team at times galat call ho gaya, या फिर somebody who is a hero starts feeling that he is indispensable and काफी सारे tantrums throw होते हैं, salary बढ़ा के दो or we will quit the job, those kinds of scenes होते हैं. These are the situations that all SMEs go through, right? So how do you tackle these HR related
So I think yes, definitely these things do happen, and um, in our organization, I think, like, since we have started putting up proper systems, processes, if you are having defined roles, responsibilities, targets, so even they know that what is expected out of them. So I think first and foremost, it is important कि अपन जब भी लोगों को hire कर रहे हैं, expectations सही set होनी चाहिए. So this even, of course, for us also every day is a learning journey. So even we are learning that अगर expectations सही set नहीं है तो लोग, everybody wants to work and everybody is working. But वो result oriented काम कर रहे हैं कि नहीं, that is the main question, because they may be working throughout the year very hard. They may be working for 15 hours also, but result is zero.
True.
Because they are just doing firefighting.
True.
But you're not expecting that from them.
True.
So understanding that is very important, where you all have that one-on-one session with the team leads, with the team members, explaining to them what is expected out of them, उनका क्या trajectory है, क्या, what are we looking at them as. ये चीजें I think are something which is important. That is one. And then so for us, like, we treat every single team member as a family member. I know it sounds like a cliche, but genuinely हमारे इधर वो culture है. So we have put in a lot of practices which are like where we are trying to support everyone, and we genuinely want everyone to be like financially independent, give time to their family, have a work-life balance. So we are actually working towards these things. We have come up with policies like there is no fixed time. So we have a flexi working hours policy. तो कोई कभी कभी 11 बजे भी आता है, कोई सुबह 7 बजे आ जाता है, and they finish their hours, they finish their work, they finish their task, and they leave. If they are wanting a leave, so we have a policy where you just have to inform. We are not in school, so we don't need to ask for permission for leave. So you just send an email and inform, and you send a message to your team members and ensure कि आपका जो भी काम है वो कोई और कर रहा है, and ऐसा नहीं है कि because you're missing, something is coming to a standstill. So when we do these things, we see that a lot of ownership people are taking and they are supporting each other.
if you care for them, they'll care for you.
Yeah.
Of your team.
Yes, and then we have this, if anybody has a big event, like they want to buy a car or a bike or a house, so we kind of support them in the down payment and doing this. So So we are taking all these steps and we are like helping them in doing the investment. So we are having these uh, investment banker kind of people who are, you know, guiding them ki where to put the money, how to do the SIPs. So thoda si educating people as much as possible on things which will help them in the future.
Absolutely. Wonderful. Wonderful. Being in the import business, you are completely dependent on a lot of government policies, a lot of import related stuff. So, what is one logistic or import related challenge that really bogged you?
I think main was during, actually it has been happening since COVID. So during COVID, there was a huge challenge with respect to, you know, getting the containers, the pricing. Then there was a India-China war-like situation which happened because of which the imports were restricted. Then right now, last year or till now, that Red Sea issue is happening. So logistics is something which is like in international trade, it is getting more and more challenging year on year. And so we also as an organization are looking at Make in India, and we are moving to Make in India. We have started getting a lot of products manufactured in India. So I think that is also something which is important to, you know, stay relevant, understand. We have to work with the government mindset, like, you know, what the government wants. If you also start working in the same direction, so it works. So we are also having some talks with few factories to see if they can set up their factory in India with us, so that, you know, we can be their
Logistics.
partners. Yeah, no, like, so the manufacturers from whom we are
हाँ,
purchasing and importing, if they can set up their arm in India, so that is something which we are looking at. So in that way,
imports के ऊपर dependency कम हो जाएगी.
yeah,
I'm sure 15 years is a long time and it has not been as easy a sale. What have been the worst phases of business in the last 15 years and क्या किया तभी?
ऐसे worst phases बोल के कुछ I can't think of anything, because see, every day is a new challenge and we have taken all phases as challenges. तो हमेशा चैलेंज आया है तो खड़े होके उसको फेस करना है एंड एक्शन लेना है. बेसिकली यू डोंट हैव टू फ्रीज. सो आई वुड से दैट, यू नो, इट इज़ इम्पोर्टेंट कि जो भी चैलेंज आ रहा है, फर्स्टली डोंट थिंक ऑफ इट एज अ वर्स्ट फेज और बेस्ट फेज, बिकॉज ये सब टाइम है, ये पास होता है. यू नो, एवरी डे इज अ न्यू डे. If you look at it as a challenge, and if you look at it as a game, like at least I see all these things as a game. कि अभी हो रहा है, चलो, something is happening, there's an attack on you, you have to see how to, you know, motor through it, and next day will be a different day. So
But in the process, you become a tougher person.
exactly, and you learn. Means
Excellent.
you take wrong decisions, you take right decisions. Important is to keep trying, keep doing things, and, you know, keep facing the challenge.
I always say that mindset decides whether you are a winner or a loser. And here is a fantastic example. Guys, as lightly as Kushal is saying it, I am very sure it's not been so easy, because being in imports with such kind of global scenario, global kind of challenges in terms of getting the stuff in India, in their warehouse, must have been very, very challenging. Either we can sit and crib कि यार गवर्नमेंट पॉलिसी है, यार ये चल रहा है, वॉर चल रहा है, क्या करें, लूट गया, बर्बाद हो गया, या फिर you have this kind of an attitude कि यार है challenge, चलो let's learn how to fight it out and still move forward, making ourselves much more stronger than what we were today, than what we were yesterday. So hats off to that attitude and hats off to that mindset. That's a fantastic way. I can be sure that with this mindset, there is a real long way that ABK is going to,
Thanks a lot for that.
Kushal, when we started working together in 2021, I remember Anand saying this, that yaar hamara kaam to badhega. You know, like when you had to work on the business, when the team was a little scattered, too many people joining in, the roles were not designated, everyone was coming to you and Anand for the smallest of the
Right.
approvals and directions. What changed in terms of people management? How have you now made a very strong next in line team which is something which every SME wants to know. Ki how have you started freeing yourself? You know,
Right.
in the entrepreneurial ladder that I always talk about, you have scaled up from being a business owner and now you are at a financer of your business, and sooner or later you're going to that entrepreneurial role. So, how has your team taken up that ownership to free you from the business?
Uh, I think the first and foremost thing is trust. So we need to start trusting our people. We need to let go. As first generation or maybe even second generation, as business owners who are involved in the business, I think the biggest problem we have is that we are not able to trust people and we are not able to let go of
इतनी
things.
मेहनत से बनाया हुआ बिजनेस
हाँ.
है तो किसी ने गड़बड़ की तो
Yeah.
that's
तो
थोड़ा बना माइंड.
थोड़ा सी it is important to let go. At the same time, having said that, you let go, but then you create measurement criteria and systems, for which I would say that you were an instrumental part in our journey, where you helped us in creating all these KRAs, KPIs, hierarchies, org structures. So having a mentor, having a business coach, having someone who's uh, from the bird's eye view looking at your business, who's giving you a different perspective, who's making you also answerable. I think these are the things which are definitely very important. It may seem like a pressing thing initially कि why should I answer to someone else? I am doing well in my business. सब अच्छा चल रहा है, मैं क्यों किसी और को answer करूँ? It's not needed. But the moment we start doing that, the moment we become answerable, we also start upping our game. And automatically looking at us, the people down the lines,
Charged up.
वो लोग को भी सबको वो same feeling आ जाती है, and they also, and really like I have seen that कि it really makes a difference.
Sure.
So me, like when Anand would tell me something, I would probably not take it as seriously as when you Anand and I have discussed, and then you have told me कि अच्छा ये चीजें करना है, this is your KPI and you have to do this every month. You have to make a MIS report. So then I will not cut corners. But if Anand is telling me, I will be like, हाँ ठीक है करता हूँ, and maybe 1 month I'll skip it also. So but when it's coming from a third person, it is like something which is like a
Accountability.
and then it creates a good system. It creates a good ecosystem for everyone.
So what I would suggest is what you learn, you implement the same stuff with your team. Like for instance, the sessions that Anand and Kushal had, they would have similar sessions. They would become the coach to their team and make them accountable, give them the plan of action. They will implement, they would see the change. So it becomes a kind of cyclic, cascading effect. From the top, the positivity starts on and it goes into the every team member of the business, and it becomes a very positively charged environment. So keep your energies and learning curve very, very high.
Yeah, I think learning is something which is a continuous process. So we all have to keep learning.
Lifelong learners.
Lifelong learners, yeah.
Yes. So let's have a round of the coaching session.
Okay.
Give rating 1 to 10 for each of the function of business. Okay. So first, starting with business management, leadership, strategies. 1 out of 10 कितना दोगे?
Business management 7.
7 out of 10.
Okay.
Marketing, brand building and leads.
7.
Sales, revenue scaling up.
8.
Okay. People management,
8.
happy customer, operations.
8.5.
Wonderful. And accounts, finance, profitability.
8.
Okay. So business management and marketing needs to scale up still, right?
Yeah,
So
it's like strategy. So basically, like I said, there's still a lot of scope. So I think I've come to realize that every day, how much ever you do, it is never enough. So there's always scope, and learning is a continuous process. So we have to keep improving.
Yes. So after being in business for 15 years, after scaling it up, after learning the hack of increasing the business from 35 to 100 plus, फिर भी there is so much of scope of improvement. So business management, marketing, and the 4 things in terms of the profitability improve करने की चीजें which we just spoke about. So ये 4 चीजें implement भी हो गई. In that case also the ratings to each of the functions would change. Right? So wonderful. Thanks. Kushal, अगर 15 years back जाना है and if you have to correct one thing, what is that one thing you will do?
I think कुछ करेक्ट नहीं बोलूँगा मैं ऐसे कि कुछ करेक्ट करना है, बट आई थिंक वन थिंग वी हैव टू डू डिफरेंटली इज डेफिनेटली build more brands, own private brands, build more marketing. So, like do more of brand building activity.
That is one
So
thing.
that is one thing which we would do differently.
So you think that you started doing that after 8 years or 9 years or 10 years of business. अगर बहुत पहले से ही शुरू किया होता तो overall business would have been at a different level too.
Yeah.
Understood. Business calls for some tough decisions and you need to, take them at times. So one such tough decision that you have taken that has actually changed the course of the business?
So I think as business owners, we are taking tough decisions on daily basis. But if you have to ask me the toughest
What
decision,
decision?
I can think of two. So one was that, we had one of this main person who was in charge in our warehouse. This I'm talking like 10 years back. And we found that something was not happening right, and letting him go, taking that decision to, like taking that action and not accepting things just because a person is important, even if he's doing something unethical or not right. So not overlooking it and knowing that because of that decision, I will have to probably be in the warehouse all day for the next few months to set things up. But still taking that decision was one of the toughest decision. And second most important tough decision which we have taken is like we had come to a point where we had more than 4,000 SKUs, and we took that tough call of cutting down the SKUs and reducing almost 1,000 SKUs. And that was a very tough call, because knowing that okay, these SKUs are contributing to a certain amount of sale, but still knowingly cutting it down was the tough decision which we have taken. And we have seen that this has helped us.
This has helped you. 2 learnings that are very important that are coming here. One is, I always talk about playing the role of Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. So as Brahma, you bring in new talent, give them jobs, grow them with the learnings, teachings, trainings, etc. So you play the role of a Brahma. As Vishnu, you take care of them. You ensure that they are happy, your team is happy, they are well taken care of. As Kushal rightly said, that he talks about ensuring their financial freedom. He talks about treating his team as the family. So they are playing a very important role of Vishnu. But at the same time, there comes a stage where they have to play the role of a Shiva. That's something that is really not going in the interest of the business. You have to clear the system and make way for the new person to come in and take that role. So Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, and I'm really happy to see that you guys are playing this role so very efficiently. Another very important lesson that we learned from Kushal just now is following the 80-20 rule. And it's a very hard call, to understand that I have 4,000 SKUs, I have 4,000 different product lines, and उसमें से 1,000 products को कम करना, that is, you are reducing it by 25%, but those 25% of those products are actually eating up your profitability. And to take this wise call basis the MIS, basis the numbers, is very important. But taking that call also calls for a jigara, and I'm really happy you guys have been doing that. And that is the key reason or the reflection that not only have these guys grown, not only the company has grown in terms of turnover, but also it reflects very positively on the profitability growth of the business. Okay, let's start a rapid fire session round now.
Okay.
A book or podcast that shifted your mindset?
Grow, stay foolish, stay hungry.
Okay. One decision that completely changed your business?
ERP. Getting a ERP software. Yeah.
One biggest business mistake that you learned from?
Biggest business mistake was to over purchase just because you're getting a better price. So yeah, like not looking at the MIS and just purchasing I think that was one of the biggest mistakes.
One business habit that keeps you on?
What business?
Habit that keeps you on every single day.
I would say meditation.
How does meditation help in business?
So I think it keeps you calm. It lets you go through the day peacefully. So there are so many, like you said, firefighting, which is happening all the time. And if you are doing some practices, I have started meditating few maybe months or few years back, and like religiously, and I think it really makes a difference.
It keeps you grounded, it keeps you calm,
Yeah.
and I'm sure this positivity comes from there. The challenges are just challenges, but they are not major
Hurdles.
So that also is a reflection coming from the regular religious meditations. Wonderful. So thank you so very much, Kushal. Today's podcast was a lesson पे lesson, एक के पीछे एक आ रहा है. I enjoy.
मुझे ज्यादा lessons मिले हैं.
It's always when you teach somebody, you end up learning more,
Right.
right? So that's what it is. And as I said earlier, I really, really, really missed you, Anand. I want you
Yes,
to
I
be
will
with me.
challenge.
I want Anand to be with me to cover the 100 crores to 200 crores में क्या क्या किया वो journey coming soon. So Anand, let's get set. Let's look forward to that. And thank you once again a lot,
Thank you.
Kushal. And friends, Kushal के लिए एक like and एक comment बनता है. So you need to motivate him for his race ahead. And जाते जाते, what's the vision now for ABK? क्या expect करें हम in the next 5 years?
I think next 5 years we want to prepare ourselves for going for an IPO. So yeah.
Awesome, super. So, a lot of news and a lot of big things happening at ABK, and we wish you all the very best.
Thank you.
Both Anand and Kushal. May business be ABK be Anand Kushal always, and may you grow and your dream come true of IPO, and you guys scale up and set these kinds of examples and learnings even going forward. So, thank you so very much. एक like and एक share and एक comment is least that I would expect from you for Kushal and Anand. And keep following us, keep listening to these podcasts, learn from these podcasts. All of them, all the speakers, they have learned the lessons the hard way. They are sharing it with them. Make the most, take notes and implement these strategies in the business, and let us know if they are working and if we can help you. Be a part of the podcast journey. Do let us know if you or somebody you can nominate who can be our guest, whose story is equally inspiring as Kushal's, and we would love to cover him in our podcast in the near future. So thank you so much for patiently listening to us and taking notes. We want to hear your U-turn story very, very soon. God bless. Take care.